Okay. Hey, you guys, welcome for joining in with us today. I am so excited to have the amazing Orange Status Jenni Harris here. When I saw Jenni on the cruise last year in October, she had her hair all pulled back, and it was actually the elegant night where everyone had to dress up. And I grabbed my husband, and I remember digging my fingers in his arm, and I'm like, honey, that is one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. And I'm like jerking his body around so he can see this woman that just walked by. And I'm like, I don't usually give you passes to look at women, but that woman is gorgeous. And I remember every time that I kept seeing her in passing, I just kept staring at her. And I didn't know if she knew who I was, so I didn't want to like be a groupie and just run up to her and started. Do you remember that?
I do remember speaking to you on the Saturday.
Yes.
On the cruise. Yeah. And I did know who you were. Of course I knew who you were.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for saying yes and being open to sharing your best tips and tricks with us today.
Of course, it's not a problem. I'm actually delighted and honored that you asked me.
I am just going to jump right in because I know you are a busy lady. So tell me a little bit about you. Kids, married, what did you do prior to Unique? Do you still work while you're in?
Okay, so good evening, everybody. As Kanisha, and thank you so much for having me here. As Kanisha says, I am an elite Orange Status presenter and I live in the UK. I'm married and I have two teenage sons. They're 17, 16 right now, but my 17-year-old will be 18 in 2 weeks. 2 weeks tomorrow, he'll be 18. I live in a little village called Warwickshire in the UK, in England. And prior to joining Unique, I served 26 years and 4 months, those 4 months later, as a police sergeant in West Midlands Police in the UK. So one time I was, like I say, as a police officer. I joined when I was 22, so that gives you an idea of how old I am. And my dream job was never to be a police officer. I wanted to be in law. I actually wanted to be a solicitor. But my mum was a single mom. I'm the eldest of 3 children with my mom and dad. And my dad has more children, but that's for another day. And my mom was a single mom, like I say, 3 children, and she couldn't afford to send me to university. So I couldn't go to university to do my law degree. So I decided the next best option was to go into the police force. I've always been a people person, so going into the police force, into the service to help women mainly, because my mom was a victim for a long time of domestic abuse. So I had that pull all the time that women should be treated better, women should be treated fairly, and I grew up in the 70s where women weren't particularly treated fairly. So I wanted to try and make a difference to women and to show other women, particularly, and this isn't a colour thing, but particularly black women, that you could do the same as everybody else. So when I joined the police service back in 1988, I was one of only one black female officers in Coventry. A little later, a couple more joined me, and then when I promoted, in the whole of the 41,000 police officers in the UK, there were 26 black female sergeants. So that kind of gives you an indication of, when people say to me, oh, you've always led a trail or you've done something different, I'd never ever really thought about it. But the thing is, I have, and I'm really proud of that fact now. I wasn't before, because I didn't realise the difference that you can make just by being the first. It gives people, and things that I didn't have. I didn't have anyone to look up to or aspire to. It wasn't anybody before me. But if it meant that I did it first and others would follow, I was quite happy to play that part. So joining Unique, how did I end up in Unique? I had never heard of network marketing, never heard of it. I'd been in, like I said, the police for 26 years, and that was really a job for life. I'd gone into the police with the intention of staying there until I retired, and I was due to retire at 52. So I felt really lucky and very honoured that I'd be able to retire early and be able to do other things with my life rather than having to work until I dropped dead. So I was really excited about that. So network marketing had never ever featured. I didn't know anybody who did it. Having said that, I've since known that people were doing it, but they didn't market themselves very well. So they were like secret agents in their business. I had no idea what they were doing. So I saw a little ad on Facebook, good old Facebook, and there was a woman sat at a desk. She had a little piece of A4 paper holding up, saying, "I did it. If you want to know what I did, then send me a message." And so she created some intrigue. So I messaged her, and she quit her job, having been in network marketing for 18 months. So she'd managed to earn a full-time income in 18 months from her sideline business. So she was now able to quit her corporate job and work from home and be able to look after her children and do all the things that as women we all want to do. So I had a call with her. I got onto a call with her, and she invited me to an opportunity meeting. And although I didn't know it was called that, she just said, "Come along to this meeting, and on Tuesday, and you'll find out a bit more." So I'd already made the decision that I was going to retire from the police. So I was actually looking for something, but I didn't know what. But I knew that I didn't want to wake up to an alarm clock ever again. And I knew I didn't want to work for anybody else ever again. So I knew I wanted to work for myself. So with those two criteria, I realised that I was open to look for something else. So I went along to this meeting, and it was a different network marketing company. But what intrigued me was the number of women that kept coming through the door. I'd never seen a room packed with so many women before, because I'd worked in an environment which was predominantly men. So the noise, the energy, the chatter, I found that I really loved it. So I listened to the opportunity meeting, and throughout the whole of the meeting, all I kept thinking was, I can do this. I don't know how, but I know I can. So I left that meeting and thanked the lady that wanted to be my sponsor for her time, and told her that the products and the company didn't appeal to me in any way, shape or form. But thank you for the introduction. I'm now going to go off and find something that really made me feel like it was something I wanted to do. And I didn't have to wait very long, because 3 weeks later I saw another ad on Facebook, and this time it was a really small one. It said, "New makeup company coming to the UK in September 2014. And obviously I love makeup, and coming to the UK sounded really exciting. So I clicked on the message and messaged the young lady, spoke to her. That relationship didn't last very long because she had a terrible attitude. But what I did want was that I knew that, because once I'd spoken to her, I'd gone off and done some research, and only very quickly, but I did some research on Unique, and stuff was popping up that I liked the look of, and I didn't just like it, I loved it. And I went onto YouTube, and I actually found a PowerPoint presentation, and it's by Michelle Bell, and it was 26 minutes long, and I went through that PowerPoint presentation 3 times in an hour and a half. I just couldn't put it down, and I thought, this is what I want to be part of. So I then went back onto good old Facebook, and I did a search for Unique, but I wanted somebody in the US, and I typed in Unique, and there were 3 names that came up, and one of them was Katie Thompson, who I messaged all 3, and Katie Thompson came back to me first, and we started the conversation, and we clicked immediately. She answered all my questions. I had a million of them. As a police officer, at the time, I asked a lot of questions. So poor woman, but she didn't bat an eyelid. And I think 6 hours later, we finished speaking. And I still had no date for the UK launch. Nobody knew when it was happening, but I knew I wanted to do it. So Katie actually said to me, go to bed. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. by the time I finished talking. But in between that time, my husband had come home from work, and I said to him, I found this opportunity. Now, bearing in mind we're both police officers, so we're quite not this word I'm trying to think of, quite rigid in our thinking, I guess. Didn't really think outside the box. The law is the law. It's either right or it's wrong. There's not many grey areas. So this thing, this network marketing thing, was something that was completely alien to both of us, although I'd had that little dabble by going to that meeting only 3 weeks previously. So I got my iPad and I said to him, look, you need to look at this. I found this thing and I'm really excited about it. And so I thought his initial reaction was, don't be silly. But if you're going to leave the police, get a proper job. That's what I thought he was going to say. But he read the first page was just about who are unique, and then there was the next page was about Derek and Melanie. And my husband read the first page and just gave me my iPad back. I thought, why are you not looking at it? And he just said to me, you must do this. This is absolutely 100% you. And I thought, oh, great. I was going to do it anyway, but it's so nice that you endorsed it. So that was my lead-in. I then had to wait for the whole summer. Well, I actually waited until the second unique convention, which was Texas. So I had to wait till then. Katie said to me that the announcement for the UK would be made there. And she screenshot it, as we all do, and now know it's common practice. She took a photograph of it and sent it to me. So when I woke up on a Sunday morning, it was waiting for me. So I'd got a small problem of the fact that I was still a police officer. So I couldn't really tell anybody about it. And I had to basically sit tight and wait. But this will freak you out as much as it freaked me out, because I found out the launch date for the UK was the 1st of October 2014. And 2 weeks later, I got a telephone call from the lady that was looking after my case for the police to tell me that my case conference to see whether I'd be able to leave the force or not was on the 30th of September 2014.
Yeah. Now that was God's timing right there, all about him.
Absolutely. I was speechless on the phone when I got the call, and she kept saying to me, okay, you all right? All I could think was, this is absolutely to be. This is what I should be doing. So I went to my case conference. They said, and everyone said to me it was a really tough case conference because I'd be too expensive to get rid of, and they weren't going to let me go, and all this kind of negativity. And I just said to everybody, we will see what happens. And I went to my case conference, and they were really nice to me, and they said, Jenny, you're going to retire from the police service, not from life. Go and do something that you really enjoy, and go with our blessing. And I literally left that case conference, went home, and posted on Facebook that that's what my journey was about to start. And start it did.
That is amazing. I love that. My aha moment that I just got out of that was how you really had a made up mind. Whether your husband said yes or no, you knew you were going to do that.
Absolutely.
And I want other women to hear that, because so many of us, when our support system doesn't react the way we want them to, or do the things that we expect them to, it kills our entire mojo.
No,
so I commend you for that.
Not
great he was on board though.
Like I said, it was great that he was, but I was doing it anyway. There was something about the whole setup, the whole mission statement, just everything that I saw in that short Saturday afternoon. I knew that it was the first time I felt that I was going to be part of something that was bigger than me.
Love it. So why unique? There's tons of cosmetics companies.
Yeah. I never looked at another network marketing company. I just 100 from the minute I saw it, it just everything. It ticked if I had a list, if I was going shopping for a company, then for me, Unique ticked every single box. In terms of the leadership, you know, Derek and Melanie, I've been lucky enough to meet them now on more than one occasion. And, you know, one of the things I say to my team is that sometimes we can feel a little bit disconnected being over here in the UK, which is why I'm encouraging them to come to convention, because when you plug into that, you don't unplug. Derek and Melanie have got something about them that makes the whole, you just feel like you really are part of a huge family, and you do genuinely believe that they care about you as a person, and that they're doing everything they can to make your life better. And I've never felt that that was fake or phony or anything. You know, I've genuinely always felt that they have all presenters' best interests at heart. And so why Unique? Unique, like I said, it ticked every box. I didn't understand the compensation plan. That wasn't important to me, to be honest. What was important was the integrity of the products. The products all looked amazing. I have really rubbish eyelashes, really bad. You know, there aren't many black women that are blessed with luscious long eyelashes.
No, we're not.
Not one of them. So I spent a small fortune in my lifetime trying to find a mascara that is going to give me what it says it's going to do on the box. And for me, the thing about Unique products is that they do exactly what they say they're going to do. So I'm a woman of massive integrity. In fact, sometimes my integrity
I agree.
pride have got in the way because I didn't really know how to deal with that when I was younger. But for me, I could not honestly sit down in front of anybody and sell them anything if I didn't believe in the product 1,000%. So I get that from every time I see a new product, every time I get my hands on a product, I don't have any qualms at all about promoting that product, about using that product. So it ticks the boxes. Uniques do what they say they're going to do. If I was having a company, if I could have afforded to set up a company, it would entail everything that Unique has. So for me, it just completely felt like the right thing to do.
I love it. So you signed up. Now what? You're going to take me through the process of how you went from 0 PRS to Orange Center.
Wow. Okay. So I know that one of the things that everybody worries about, and it was one of my huge concerns, was that I did not have a network. You know, some people have huge networks when they start. I didn't have any. I had 84 people on my Facebook page, and I was a police officer, so my Facebook was in complete lockdown. Nobody could send me a friend request. Nobody could message me. The only people that were on my Facebook were people that I knew and that I'd friend requested. So nobody could actually send me a friend request. So in terms of when everybody was talking about it was a social media based business, I was like, oh God, how am I going to do this? Because I don't know. You know, my Facebook consisted of a few pictures of, you know, my children, and that was it. There was nothing on my Facebook page. I got a Facebook page, but there wasn't anything on it. So I did kind of have a little bit of a panic when that came. But then I thought, do you know what? If other people can do it, then I can too. So, and I will learn. You know, I'm a big believer in self-education and continually educating yourself and continuous learning. So, you know, it never crossed my mind ever. There was never a doubt in my mind that I could not make this work for me. So I just needed to find the things to help me. But that's what I needed. I needed to know the how, and then I would get on with it. So I reluctantly opened up my Facebook page, which was quite scary. Opened my Facebook page, set it to public, and then I literally went about, and I was intentional about what I was doing. So I knew I had to grow my network. You know, I'd heard the term, I'd listened to a lot of Jim Rohn through the summer and a lot of Les Brown. I hadn't fallen across Eric Worre by that point, but I had come across Jim Rohn because I wanted to work on me, because I knew that I was coming out of an environment that was quite negative, and we hadn't done any sort of personal development. So, I'd heard those words being thrown around, but I didn't really know what they meant. So I started going onto YouTube and listening to these really positive people, and started to work on my mindset, because I knew that needed to change. So I started to, through the summer, I'd intentionally started to add some people to Facebook, and then once 1st of October came, I really started to network with purpose, and I just started to message people and just tell them what I was doing. I didn't put it on Facebook as such. I posted pictures of the products, but I didn't really say what I was doing, because I was still a little bit scared, a little bit apprehensive as to how it was going to be received in the big wide world of Facebook. So I started to personally message people on Facebook and on my phone, so people that were already in my phone book, and just be really excited, because I couldn't be anything different. I was so excited about what I was doing, so I wanted to tell people about it. And yes, lots of people ignored me completely, and didn't even bother to respond to my message. And to be fair, I'm not going to lie and sit here and say, oh my God, I just moved forward and got on with it. I didn't. Sometimes it would knock and it would hurt, and I would message Katie and say, oh my God, and she would just say to me, pick yourself up and move forward. You need to grow a thick skin and just get on with it. You've got this. You can do this. So every time I felt like I was tripping up, she would just pull me up by the scruff of my neck and say, keep going. And that's what I needed. I needed just someone just to believe in me, so that until I believed in myself. And that was, for me, a huge factor. I didn't have anybody else that I knew that was doing it, so it had to be Katie. So to start up in the beginning, I relied on her a lot just for that emotional support. So when I started to feel like I was shrinking, she would big me up and say, no, you've got this, you can do this, you're going to be great. And when she kept saying that, I started to believe it. So I started to grow my network, and even by October, I had 2 people sign up with me. One was my hairdresser on October the 1st, one was my hairdresser, and one was a girl that I used to work with. And they signed up with me on the first day. Then somebody else signed up with me on day 3, and then nobody else had shown any interest. And then just from my Facebook, a couple of people messaged me and asked if they could join my team, because I was just, and when I asked them why, they said, you just seem so excited about what you're doing. We want to jump on board. So, I think by about day 10, I'd got 7 people on my team before we could start selling. And then what made me smile, and this will be the same for all of you. So when I say to you that people are watching, and people might not necessarily be liking your posts or commenting or doing anything, they are watching you. Because in the July, I had spoken to a girl who I knew, she was in another network marketing company, and I told her about the unique opportunity, and she politely sent me a message saying, thank you, but no thank you, and good luck in your endeavours. Very polite, which was fine. And by October the 19th, she messaged me and she said, I need to know more about Unique and what you're doing. And I told her, and she joined the same day. So between me and her, she'd come from a network marketing background and I hadn't. So we started a race, basically. We started challenging each other, setting like little mini goals of how many people we were going to prospect and recruit by October the 31st. So we started to run together, and by the end of October, we got 42 people in my company. And I could not believe what was happening. But also with that, because what we then started to do, which I learned from her, was every time I recruited somebody, I posted it on my page. Every time I recruited somebody, I posted on my page. When she recruited somebody, I posted on my page. So it just created this mass energy, because even though, I'd only recruited like 8 or 9 people, the numbers that were on my page, it looked like we were just flying. And so then I started to get orders. By then, people started, because I tried to create a VIP list, which nobody taken any notice of. And my first lady, who I'll never ever forget, a lady called Maria Francis, I'd messaged her 2 or 3 times. And about the 3rd time, she said to me, go on then, put me down for one. And she was my first lady that ordered a mascara. And when she did it, and I posted the fact that she'd ordered it, then the floodgates opened and other people just started to order. So by up to November the 1st, when we could start selling, I got 93 orders for mascara, which was just incredible. And because of the way I was, everybody just started to do the same. So in my first month, we had sales of over $30,000. And it was just incredible. It was an incredible ride. It was fun, and it just didn't feel like work at all.
I love it. Okay. So now I want you to brag on yourself. You know, your team is going to be useless. So to potential that will be watching. What is your team name?
Okay, so my team name is Team Eyelash Divas. That is a name that we've had literally from day one. It used to be Team Eyelash Divas UK, but then I soon moved to UK when we had our first international team member, and that was a lady that I signed from the US, and we now have team members in France, Germany, Australia, US, and I think we have one lady from Canada. We haven't got anybody from Mexico yet.
Yes, look at y'all all over the world.
I can honestly now say that I have a global international makeup business. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
And why your team?
Sorry?
And why your team? Why should someone join your team? Why would a prospect watching this? What makes Jenny's team good?
Oh, okay. So why would you want to join? Why would you want to work with me? Well, okay. So I absolutely love Unique. And the thing that I think that, well, no, I believe that I bring to everybody, right, okay. So they say sometimes you don't know what you're good at until people start repeatedly telling you. So one of the things, in fact, there's quite a few things, but I now get repeatedly told that I'm inspirational, motivational, trailblazer, all these great words that I would always use to describe somebody else. People are now using them to describe me. And 18 months ago, I would have deflected all of those words and just not appreciated it or even accepted it. But now I do believe that that's what I do because I'm so passionate about what I'm doing. So my team and working with me, I will, whatever your dream is, because your dream will be very different to mine, or it might even be the same, but that doesn't mean that you have to do all the things that I do. You know, I work my business every single day. There isn't a day that goes by when I don't work it. I didn't do it on Sunday because it was Mother's Day, but I did a little bit in the morning and then put it to one side and spent the day with my family. But I will, whatever that dream looks like for them, whatever that vision is for them, I will work with them to help you to achieve that. So obviously my big dream and my big goal in terms of the business is to get all the way to the top, however long that takes. You know, I will do all the necessary things. I will learn, I will attend all the training, I will do whatever I need to do to ensure that I'm the best leader that I can be, and that I know as much stuff as my brain can absorb. And in doing so, that makes me better so that I can lead my team better. And so I don't have a like tick list of things that I would do. I just deal with each person as an individual. So whatever they want from this business, I will help them to together.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much for taking time out to do this. I know that you all dolled up from your networking event, and that is what makes you a rock star. The fact that you're out there, you're pounding the pavement, you're telling new people about your business. I am so excited to meet you in a few weeks to be in the catalog with you.
Oh,
This has been so fun.
Thank you for having me. I'm absolutely delighted to have been here, to have to share my story. And if I can just inspire one person just to, whatever that dream is for you, don't worry about what everybody else is dreaming about. You just focus on your dream and what you need to get there. Don't worry about how. Just have that vision and then figure it out. Figure it out. Don't rely on other people to do stuff for you, because trust me, they won't. They won't do it. So you have to do it yourself. So find someone who can help you. Don't rely on, don't rely on your friends. One of the things that I never did was that I never relied on my friends to join my business or to buy my products. Because if you do that, you will die hungry. Okay? They will come eventually, but they want to watch you to see, A, if you're serious about what you're doing. Because we know there are so many people that get really excited for 5 minutes. They work their business for 5 minutes and then they're gone. So if somebody has experienced that person who has been really excited about something for 5 minutes or even 20 minutes or a day, and then they're gone, by the end of the week, people get fed up and they become very mistrusting. And to be honest, it doesn't do us any good. So when you decide you're going to do this business, decide for the right reasons and then make sure that you keep going. It doesn't matter how hard it gets, because it will get hard. People will say no to you. People will ignore you. But do you know what? They don't pay your bills. There are people out there who want what you have. There are millions of them. They want what you have, and you just need to find them. Don't sit there and wait for them to come and beat down your door, because they're not going to come. They're not going to come. They will cut. You need to go to them. And the other thing that I've just got to say before I go is, don't be a secret agent in your business, right? You have to tell people what you're doing. If you keep your mouth shut, your business will die, okay? Your business will die. You need to open your mouth and you need to talk to people. And if people don't want to listen to you, that's okay. That is okay. It is not a problem. That is their choice. Don't take it personally. It's not a slight on you. They're just not interested in what you're doing, and that's all right. That really is okay. That is their prerogative. But if you keep going, you have to keep going. You can't just give up at the first hurdle if you want success in this business. And that is my one bit of advice to you. Open your mouth, talk to people. I know we're a social media based business, and that is what we can use social media to grow our business in parts of the world that we'd never get to. But sometimes you need to get away from the computer and go and talk to people. People like people, and they will join you if you go and find them.
Mic drop. Yes. Yes. You done got me all fired up over here, but that's exactly right. And I always say loyal money equals local money, because they're going to come to you because you're local to them. They're going to be your clientele, and they're not going to meet you sitting behind your computer. They're going to meet someone else over there in Texas, somebody else over there in France, and then now your backyard is someone else's teammates and customers. Been there, done that. I lost a lot of teammates in my 30-minute radius due to the fact that I was not getting from behind my computer. There's about 25 unique presenters local to me now, and 3 of them are on my team. Everybody else is under someone else, and it's because I didn't get out there and talk. So you are absolutely right. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Jenny. You're amazing. This was so fun.
Oh, I love it.
Do this again. All right. Well, you've heard it here best. Miss Jenny has mic drop. Make sure that you share this video with anyone that you know that needs inspiration. If you are looking to join Miss Jenny's team, don't even wait. Just go click the button and join, because this lady is going to have you fired up and ready to go. Thank you, Miss Jenny. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Take care. Bye.